क्या तेरे बाजों मेरा सच्चियां मोहब्बतां वे ओ माही किथे होर नहीं ओ मिलना जिथे भी तू चले आ माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना पीछे चलना ओ माही दिल विच तेरे यारा मैनू रहन दे आँखों से आँखों वाली गल कहन दे दिल विच तेरे यारा मैनू रहन दे आँखों से आँखों वाली गल कहन दे धड़कन दिल दिए तेनू पहचाने तू मेरा है मैं हूँ तेरी रब वे जाने तू रह सकदा नहीं मैं रह सकदी नहीं तेरे बिन यार होर किथे तकदी नहीं क्या तेरे बाजों मेरा ओ माही ओ माही माही मैनू छड्डियो ना कि तेरे बिन दिल नहीं लगना जिथे भी तू चलना है माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना तू जी सकदा नहीं मैं जी सकदी नहीं कोई दूसरी में शर्ता भी रखदी नहीं क्या तेरे बाजों मेरा सच्चियां मोहब्बतां वे ओ माही किथे होर नहीं ओ मिलना जिथे भी तू चले आ माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना पीछे चलना ओ माही वे ओ माही वे दिल विच तेरे यारा मैनू रहन दे आँखों से आँखों वाली गल कहन दे दिल विच तेरे यारा मैनू रहन दे आँखों से आँखों वाली गल कहन दे धड़कन दिल दिए तेनू पहचाने तू मेरा है मैं हूँ तेरी रब वे जाने तू रह सकदा नहीं मैं रह सकदी नहीं तेरे बिन यार होर किथे तकदी नहीं क्या तेरे बाजों मेरा ओ माही ओ माही माही मैनू छड्डियो ना कि तेरे बिन दिल नहीं लगना जिथे भी तू चलना है माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना तू जी सकदा नहीं मैं जी सकदी नहीं कोई दूसरी में शर्ता भी रखदी नहीं क्या तेरे क्या तेरे बाजों मेरा ओ माही ओ माही माही मैनू छड्डियो ना कि तेरे बिन दिल नहीं लगना जिथे भी तू चलना है माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना तू जी सकदा नहीं मैं जी सकदी नहीं कोई दूसरी में शर्ता भी रखदी नहीं क्या तेरे बाजों मेरा सच्चियां मोहब्बतां वे ओ माही किथे होर नहीं ओ मिलना जिथे भी तू चलिया माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना पीछे पीछे चलना ओ माही वे ओ माही वे दिल विच तेरे यारा मैनू रहन दे आँखों से आँखों वाली गल कहन दे दिल विच तेरे यारा मैनू रहन दे आँखों से आँखों वाली गल कहन दे धड़कन दिल दिए तेनू पहचाने तू मेरा है मैं हूँ तेरी रब भी जाने तू रह सकदा नहीं मैं रह सकदी नहीं तेरे बिन यार होर किथे तकदी नहीं क्या तेरे बाजों मेरा ओ माही ओ माही माही मैनू छड्डियो ना कि तेरे बिन दिल नहीं लगना जिथे भी तू चलना है माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना तू जी सकदा नहीं मैं जी सकदी नहीं कोई दूसरी में शर्ता भी रखदी नहीं क्या तेरे बाजों मेरा सच्चियां मोहब्बतां वे ओ माही किथे होर नहीं ओ मिलना जिथे भी तू चलिया माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना पीछे पीछे चलना ओ माही जिथे भी तू चलना है माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना। तू जी सकदा नहीं मैं जी सकदी नहीं, कोई दूसरी में शर्ता भी रखदी नहीं। क्या तेरे बाजो मेरा सच्चियां मोहब्बतां वे ओ माही किथे होर नहीं ओ मिलना, होर नहीं ओ मिलना। जिथे भी तू चलिया माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना, पीछे पीछे चलना। ओ माही दिल विच तेरे यारा मैनू रहन दे, आँखों से आँखों वाली गल कहन दे। दिल विच तेरे यारा मैनू रहन दे, आँखों से आँखों वाली गल कहन दे। धड़कन दिल दी तेनू पहचाने, तू मेरा है मैं हूँ तेरी रब भी जाने। तू रह सकदा नहीं मैं रह सकदी नहीं, तेरे बिन यार होर किथे तकदी नहीं। क्या तेरे बाजो मेरा ओ माही ओ माही माही मैनू छड्डियो ना कि तेरे बिन दिल नहीं ओ लगना। जिथे भी तू चलना है माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना। तू जी सकदा नहीं मैं जी सकदी नहीं, कोई दूसरी में शर्ता भी रखदी नहीं। क्या तेरे बाजो मेरा सच्चियां मोहब्बतां वे ओ माही किथे होर नहीं ओ मिलना, होर नहीं ओ मिलना। जिथे भी तू चलिया माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना, पीछे पीछे चलना। ओ माही वे ओ माही वे दिल विच तेरे यारा मैनू रहन दे, आँखों से आँखों वाली गल कहन दे। दिल विच तेरे यारा मैनू रहन दे, आँखों से आँखों वाली गल कहन दे। धड़कन दिल दी तेनू पहचाने, तू मेरा है मैं हूँ तेरी रब भी जाने। तू रह सकदा नहीं मैं रह सकदी नहीं, तेरे बिन यार होर किथे तकदी नहीं। क्या तेरे बाजो मेरा ओ माही ओ माही माही मैनू छड्डियो ना कि तेरे बिन दिल नहीं ओ लगना। जिथे भी तू चलना है सकदी नहीं, कोई दूसरी में शर्ता भी रखदी नहीं। क्या तेरे बाजो मेरा सच्चियां मुहब्बतां वे ओ माही किथे होर नहीं ओ मिलना, होर नहीं ओ मिलना। जिथे भी तू चलिया माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना, पीछे पीछे चलना। ओ माही वे, ओ माही वे। दिल विच तेरे यारा मैनू रहन दे, आँखों से आँखों वाली गल कहन दे। दिल विच तेरे यारा मैनू रहन दे, आँखों से आँखों वाली गल कहन दे। धड़कन दिल दिए तेनू पहचाने, तू मेरा है मैं हूँ तेरी रब भी जाने। तू रह सकदा नहीं मैं रह सकदी नहीं, तेरे बिन यार होर किथे तकदी नहीं। क्या तेरे बाजो मेरा ओ माही वे, ओ माही वे। माही मैनू छड्डियो ना कि तेरे बिन दिल नहीं ओ लगना। जिथे भी तू चलना है माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना। तू जी सकदा नहीं मैं जी सकदी नहीं, कोई दूसरी में शर्ता भी रखदी नहीं। क्या तेरे बाजो मेरा सच्चियां मुहब्बतां वे ओ माही किथे होर नहीं ओ मिलना, होर नहीं ओ मिलना। जिथे भी तू चलिया माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना, पीछे पीछे चलना। ओ माही वे, ओ माही वे। दिल विच तेरे यारा मैनू रहन दे, आँखों से आँखों वाली गल कहन दे। दिल विच तेरे यारा मैनू रहन दे, आँखों से आँखों वाली गल कहन दे। धड़कन दिल दिए तेनू पहचाने, तू मेरा है मैं हूँ तेरी रब भी जाने। तू रह सकदा नहीं मैं रह सकदी नहीं, तेरे बिन यार होर किथे तकदी नहीं। क्या तेरे बाजो मेरा ओ माही वे, ओ माही वे। माही मैनू छड्डियो ना कि तेरे बिन शर्ता भी रख दी नहीं, क्या तेरे बाजो मेरा सच्चियां मोहब्बतां वे ओ माही किथे होर नहीं ओ मिलना, होर नहीं ओ मिलना। जिथे भी तू चलिया माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना, पीछे पीछे चलना। ओ माही वे, ओ माही वे। दिल विच तेरे यारा मैनू रहन दे, आँखों से आँखों वाली गल कहन दे। दिल विच तेरे यारा मैनू रहन दे, आँखों से आँखों वाली गल कहन दे। धड़कन दिल दिए तेनू पहचाने, तू मेरा है मैं हूँ तेरी रब भी जाने। तू रह सकदा नहीं मैं रह सकदी नहीं, तेरे बिन यार होर किथे तकदी नहीं, क्या तेरे बाजो मेरा। ओ माही वे, ओ माही वे। माही मैनू छड्डियो ना कि तेरे बिन दिल नहीं ओ लगना। जिथे भी तू चलना है माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना। तू जी सकदा नहीं मैं जी सकदी नहीं, कोई दूसरी में शर्ता भी रख दी नहीं, क्या तेरे बाजो मेरा। सच्चियां मोहब्बतां वे ओ माही किथे होर नहीं ओ मिलना, होर नहीं ओ मिलना। जिथे भी तू चलिया माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना, पीछे पीछे चलना। ओ माही वे, ओ माही वे। दिल विच तेरे यारा मैनू रहन दे, आँखों से आँखों वाली गल कहन दे। दिल विच तेरे यारा मैनू रहन दे, आँखों से आँखों वाली गल कहन दे। धड़कन दिल दिए तेनू पहचाने, तू मेरा है मैं हूँ तेरी रब भी जाने। तू रह सकदा नहीं मैं रह सकदी नहीं, तेरे बिन यार होर किथे तकदी नहीं, क्या तेरे बाजो मेरा। ओ माही वे, ओ माही वे। माही मैनू छड्डियो ना कि तेरे क्या तेरे बाजो मेरा सच्चियां मोहब्बतां वे ओ माही किथे होर नहीं ओ मिलना जिथे भी तू चलिया माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना पीछे चलना ओ माही दिल विच तेरे यारा मैनू रहन दे आँखों से आँखों वाली गल कहन दे दिल विच तेरे यारा मैनू रहन दे आँखों से आँखों वाली गल कहन दे धड़कन दिल दिए तेनू पहचाने तू मेरा है मैं हूँ तेरी रब भी जाने तू रह सकदा नहीं मैं रह सकदी नहीं तेरे बिन यार होर किथे तकदी नहीं क्या तेरे बाजो मेरा ओ माही ओ माही माही मैनू छड्डियो ना कि तेरे बिन दिल नहीं लगना जिथे भी तू चलना है माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना तू जी सकदा नहीं मैं जी सकदी नहीं कोई दूसरी में शर्ता भी रखदी नहीं क्या तेरे बाजो मेरा सच्चियां मोहब्बतां वे ओ माही किथे होर नहीं ओ मिलना जिथे भी तू चलिया माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना पीछे चलना ओ माही वे ओ माही वे दिल विच तेरे यारा मैनू रहन दे आँखों से आँखों वाली गल कहन दे दिल विच तेरे यारा मैनू रहन दे आँखों से आँखों वाली गल कहन दे धड़कन दिल दिए तेनू पहचाने तू मेरा है मैं हूँ तेरी रब भी जाने तू रह सकदा नहीं मैं रह सकदी नहीं तेरे बिन यार होर किथे तकदी नहीं क्या तेरे बाजो मेरा ओ माही ओ माही माही मैनू छड्डियो ना कि तेरे बिन क्या तेरे बाजों मेरा। ओ माही ओ माही माही मैनू छड्डियो ना कि तेरे बिन दिल नहीं लगना। जिथे भी तू चलना है माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना। तू जी सकदा नहीं मैं जी सकदी नहीं, कोई दूसरी में शर्ता भी रखदी नहीं। क्या तेरे बाजों मेरा। सच्चियां मुहब्बतां वे ओ माही किथे होर नहीं ओ मिलना, होर नहीं ओ मिलना। जिथे भी तू चलिया माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना, पीछे पीछे चलना। ओ माही वे ओ माही वे। दिल विच तेरे यारा मैनू रहन दे, आँखों से आँखों वाली गल कहन दे। दिल विच तेरे यारा मैनू रहन दे, आँखों से आँखों वाली गल कहन दे। धड़कन दिल दिए तेनू पहचाने, तू मेरा है मैं हूँ तेरी रब भी जाने। तू रह सकदा नहीं मैं रह सकदी नहीं, तेरे बिन यार होर किथे तकदी नहीं। क्या तेरे बाजों मेरा। ओ माही ओ माही माही मैनू छड्डियो ना कि तेरे बिन दिल नहीं लगना। जिथे भी तू चलना है माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना। तू जी सकदा नहीं मैं जी सकदी नहीं, कोई दूसरी में शर्ता भी रखदी नहीं। क्या तेरे बाजों मेरा। सच्चियां मुहब्बतां वे ओ माही किथे होर नहीं ओ मिलना, होर नहीं ओ मिलना। जिथे भी तू चलिया माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना, पीछे पीछे चलना। ओ माही सकदी नहीं तेरे बिन यार होर किथे तकदी नहीं क्या तेरे बाजों मेरा ओ माही ओ माही माही मैनू छड्डियो ना कि तेरे बिन दिल नहीं लगना जिथे भी तू चलना है माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना तू जी सकदा नहीं मैं जी सकदी नहीं कोई दूसरी में शर्ता भी रखदी नहीं क्या तेरे बाजों मेरा सच्चियां मोहब्बतां वे ओ माही किथे होर नहीं ओ मिलना जिथे भी तू चलिया माही मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे चलना पीछे पीछे चलना ओ माही वे ओ माही वे
In other words, hold my hand. Fly me to the moon. Let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song. Let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Fill my heart with song. Let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, in other words, I love
You know, I was wondering, you know, if you could keep on, because the force, it's got a lot of power. And it makes me feel like it makes me feel like
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mr. and Mrs. Vivic Harinanan, my daughter-in-law, my daughter and son-in-law. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the bride and groom. Look how beautiful the bride looks. Dashing, and how handsome the groom looks. Wow. Parents of the bride and bridegroom, grandparents of both bride and bridegroom, all invited guests and well-wishers, I welcome you all to this grand affair, being the wedding reception of Amrita and Vivic. I welcome you all, and this reception will be like no other, I guarantee you. Right? As this beautiful ambience and atmosphere created for us will provide a backdrop as we explore the universe and interplanetary interactions of two planets called Amrita and Vivic. There will be quantum interaction, as you will see. From the speeches, you will be able to assess the azimuthal angle each planet before courting and after courting that led to their intriguing interplanetary interaction. You will no doubt feel the gravitational pull of these two planets when you hear from the speeches today of various scientists, some in the caliber of Carl Sagan. For those you know, I assure you, none of the listed speakers will be full of hot gases when you hear from the speeches. Right? And you know when hot gases explode, they call a supernova. You will not hear of any of those speakers today. In fact, their content will be straight from the heart and accurately depicts a granular detail of the evolution and maturity of these two heavenly bodies, Amrita and Vivic. To take us through this interstellar experience while sitting in the Satellite Explorer AV, A for Amrita and V for Vivic, is no more a competent person than Mr. Kovir Sankar. Kovir is my son, is the brother of Amrita, and he is a third-year medical student at UE Medical Faculty. This eminent scientist will traverse this galaxy of these two lovebirds for you and I to enjoy. I now hand you over to Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Kovir Sankar.
Vain. Let's go. Let's welcome everybody to Planet Pit and show them what worldwide music is. Call me Mr. Worldwide. Let's show them why they call me Mr. Worldwide. Why you think they call me Mr. Worldwide? Let's show them why they call me Mr. Worldwide. Hold up, cause bitch I'm worldwide. I'm involved in the music business, but the funny thing is, half of these fools don't know music.
Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to personally welcome each and every one of you to the wedding reception of Vivic and Amrita Harinanan. Round of applause. Firstly, can we have 20 seconds of silence to say a prayer, just for the bride and groom, for their well wishes with God. Thank you. For our guests tuning into the live stream, remember to like and subscribe and leave your comments in the chat. I will be checking in from time to time. However, for all of you, our guests, you may also leave your guests in the chat. That's like we want a bad talk and thing. Please leave your comments and we will deal with them accordingly, because I know the boss man here, he go fix them up. An MC, or Master of Ceremonies, is a host of a program. A good MC is said to possess 5 main characteristics. They are funny, always prepared, skilled at capturing the audience's attention, possesses amazing communication skills, and has a dazzling personality. Unfortunately, the MC could not make it here today due to unforeseen circumstances, so you have me now. Our first illustrious speaker for the night is Kiran Harinanan, who, along with Vivic, is burdened with glorious purpose as the only two men of their family that can maintain the Harinanan name. They have shared a very close bond as cousins, as they grew up alongside each other and always stayed connected. The Harinanan boys went on a myriad of amazing adventures, creating unforgettable memories, such as in 2015, when Kiran came to support Vivic for his racing competition in Michigan. Their camaraderie was such that they even attended the same high school, and both won national scholarships. However, they both pursued different fields of study. Kiran graduated as a fully qualified doctor from the St. Joseph's University. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask you one thing. Who'll be there for you?
No one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you broke, your love life's the way. It's like you're always stuck in second gear, when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. But I'll be there for you.
Okay, first of all, thank you, the MC Kavir. So our chief celebrants, Vivic and Amrita. Host and the hostesses on both sides of the family, friends and well-wishers. So it would actually be remiss of me so if I didn't give my contribution on this sacred and memorable occasion. So a pleasant welcome to each and every one. So my name is Kiran, so Vivic's elder cousin, and so I'm honored to be assigned this special opportunity. For those that I don't know much about me and Vivic's relationship, let me fill you in a bit. So I'm the older guy, which means that basically I've been around Vivic's entire life. And also I've had the privilege of watching him grow into the best man I know. Well, besides myself. So first of all, I like to think that, so I have actually impacted Vivic in some life, but in reality, he's impacted mine the most. Even though we are just cousins, I've always considered Vivic to be like my little brother. From helping me build my sense of humor and also giving me an equal boost along the way, he's really shaped me into becoming a better man myself. Fond memories developed from the very early age when we shared cherished moments at even our grandmother's house. There was always the late night board games and video games along with guess who? Of course, Nisha was there, where usually we would pull all-nighters. But of course, this was before Amber and Nivan. So Vivic was always a lovable and he was always admired by everyone. His remarkable brilliance was really observable from his early years, and everything science-related was his favorite topic of discussion. Anything shark or dinosaur related, he had information at his fingertips. So maybe this is why he attempted to feed Nanny's fishes with soap powder and observe the outcome. So from a tender age of 6 years old, Vivic has always aspired to become an engineer. He always applied himself diligently, and the rest was history. He graduated to his school of choice, St. Mary's College, where coincidentally I was a student at that time also. So attending St. Mary's Colleges had its challenges coming from the remote city of Sangre Grande. Awakening at 4:30 a.m. and traveling with Ricky in his Datsun 280 with no AC was indeed an experience. Experiences such as shutting down on the Beatum at 6 a.m. could be traumatic. Thankfully, Auntie Seti recognized our distinguished ride, and she pulled up with Kendra sleeping in the back seat to rescue us. Such fun memories we can recall on numerous occasions. It was always memorable. So emulating in my footsteps, so I won a national scholarship, and of course, Vivic had to outshine me by doing the same. So I went on to cure sick people, and then he decided to do something more exciting by building Porsches. When will it end? Today, he has emerged into a prominent professional in his field of choosing. Today, I have the opportunity to disclose all his hidden secrets, but I choose not to, because next year he will be speaking as the guest of honor at my wedding. So on a serious note, on behalf of myself and my family, so first of all, I would like to congratulate Vivic and Amrita on this bold and decisive undertaking in your lives. Marriage is fast becoming a challenging affair, and also I implore you to do all within your powers to ensure the longevity of your relationship. So I think the secret of marital success is the constant communication, the ability to compromise, and the necessity of sacrificing one's individual independence. There will always be mistrust and misunderstanding, but resolve your differences in a reasonable and rational manner. From my observation of Amrita's qualities, she's a very loving, caring, and selfless person, just like Vivic. And personally, I have never seen him happier, especially from yesterday into today. You both look absolutely stunning today, and we can only wish such radiance and positivity persist through your lifelong journey. If you encounter challenges in this new venture, so either one of you will have much more families to consult now. Even though we may not always be geographically accessible, so I am always here, a phone call away for both of you. May God bless both of you immensely, and always be mindful of your spiritual and family obligations. Love isn't perfect, so love isn't a fairy tale or storybook, and basically it has always come easy. Love is overcoming obstacles, facing challenges, fighting to be together, holding on, and never letting go. Love is a short word, easy to spell, difficult to define, and impossible to live without. Love is work, but most of all, love is realizing that every hour, every minute, every second of it was worth it because you did it together. Now let's raise a glass to Mr. and Mrs. Vivic Harinanan, and may they have a long and happy marriage. Cheers. Now I actually have a surprise for Vivic and Amrita. I don't know if, yeah?
Hey Vivic and Amrita, I just want to wish you congratulations on your wedding coming up in January. May you have a beautiful wedding, and congratulations from me, Lindsay, Kieran, Sandira, Uncle Harry, and Auntie Sandra. Lots of love and have a beautiful wedding.
Hey, what's up, Vivic and Amrita? This is Pierre Bouvier, lead singer of the band Simple Plan. Yes, it's true, it's really me. Look at this face. How can you forget this face? Hope you guys are doing well. I'm here as a gift from a lot of people because this is, first of all, from Kieran, who says, my cousin Vivic, who's like my little brother, is getting married to Amrita on January 3rd, previously postponed due to COVID. What a bummer, this COVID thing. But wants to congratulate you. And this is also, it's from Kieran, but also from Sandira, Uncle Harry, and Auntie Sandra, sorry. So listen, congratulations to you both ahead of time. Hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful wedding. So sorry to hear you had to postpone it. I know how that feels. We've had a bunch of shows that have been postponed over the year. We have a whole tour that we have to postpone that we don't even know when it's going to happen. So trust me, I feel you. But listen, congratulations. Wishing you all the best. I hope the wedding goes perfectly, smoothly, according to plan, and I hope that it is everything that you guys have wished for and planned for, and I wish you guys both a wonderful life together for the rest of your days in love and friendship, and support each other and be kind to each other, and all that great stuff. So listen, congratulations, have a great time, and Kieran here asked me to play a piece of his song for you from all these people. That's right, Kieran, Sandira, Uncle Harry, Auntie Sandra. A little piece of a song called I'd Do Anything to celebrate this wonderful occasion. Here we go. Another day is going by, thinking about you all the time, but you're out there and I'm here waiting. And I wrote this letter in my head, so many things were left unsaid, but now you're gone and I can't think straight. This could be the one last chance to make I'd do anything just to hold you in my arms, try to make you laugh. Somehow I can put you in a bath. I'd do anything just to fall asleep with you. Would you remember me? 'Cause I know I won't forget you. Congratulations, Vivic and Amrita. Have a great wedding. Thinking about you, sending you love and positivity. Take care. Woo!
Okay, thank you, Kieran, for that, all of that performances. So, ladies and gentlemen, you just heard a doctor speak, so I bet you're wondering, when the bride and groom gonna have children? One night already? Wait. Oh. You may or may not know this, but Amrita was her grandma's first grandchild. So you know that she was the apple of her eye. Until me, of course. Grandma always had a plethora of affectionate nicknames for all her grandchildren, though I guess they all began with Amrita. Grandma was someone who always would spread joy to all her little diamonds. She would always push for the best for her grandchildren. She's a very intelligent woman with strong willpower who facilitated many opportunities for her little diamonds to grow close with her aunts and uncles. In fact, when Amrita was just a baby, she provided therapeutic treatment for her aunt Omaida, or as we fondly call her, Auntie Maidi. She was experiencing a rough patch in her life, and spending time with Amrita relieved Auntie Maidi of her ailments. Soon, when Auntie Maidi was getting married, she chose Amrita to be her flower girl. By some definitions, Amrita did a really good job as a flower girl. What is for sure, however, is that Amrita was rewarded with her first sister, who is our next speaker. Amara Ali, or as we affectionately call her, Mara, grew and bloomed side by side with Amrita. Both girls have always had wanderlust in their blood and possess the same love for adrenaline and adventure. This shared passion for excitement brought them ever closer together, with Amrita and Mara being longtime beach buddies. Additionally, Amara is also very intelligent and hardworking. As of currently, she's a second-year medical student pursuing her degree diligently at the Faculty of Medical Sciences at Mount Hope. As such, I would like to invite our resident beach boss, Amara Ali, to say a few words for her elder sister.
Tell me what you're crying for. I'll wipe your tears on up. If you're so taking love, we'll come for you for sure. If we're caught in a wave, I will carry over. It don't matter where you are, I'll run to your front door. When my head goes in every direction.
Thank you for that lovely introduction, Kuvir. Good evening, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Amara, one of Amrita's younger cousins, but we usually refer to ourselves as sisters. I have known Amrita all my life. She was my whole world growing up, and I always wanted to be just like her. Although we have 7 years between us, she never once let that stand in the way of including not just me, but the rest of our cousins in whatever she did. I remember her entertaining little me by doing cartwheels, but little did she know, she would have to do them continuously for maybe around 30 minutes. Because it made me laugh so much that she simply refused to stop. And the best part is, we have that on video, so I'll never let her forget it. I think the best way to describe Amrita's personality is bubbly, charismatic, full of life, and a joy to be around. She is also a great lawyer, and I know this personally because it was her who convinced my mom to let me join Instagram when I turned 15. She provided her with so many points, justifications, and supporting evidence that my mom had no choice but to give me permission to join that same night. Amrita was also quite a trendsetter for me. There was a time when she hated pictures and would always hold her hand up to the camera or quickly turn her face to the side. Well, you know what happened next? I started doing the same thing. Whenever she would play on her Game Boy, I clung next to her so much that I'm surprised she would be able to play at all. I also have her to thank for my ability to phrase certain types of texts, because when I was younger, my nose would always be stuck in her phone, reading through her messages. Don't worry, guys, she 100% knew I did that. Sorry, Amrita. Now, there comes a time in everyone's life when they meet their one true love, a best friend, that person who will love and cherish them no matter what. And that moment came for Amrita 20 years ago when she met me. Vivic. 3 years ago, I clearly remember Amrita and I talking late at night, and then just out of the blue, she told me, "Girl, I have a story for you, but I'm not going to tell you until after your exams finish, but I'm trying a thing." There I was thinking, how in the world am I going to study now when Amrita sounding like she has some good bacchanal to fill me in on? Well, I guess she was excited too, because at a function in church, Amrita couldn't keep the secret in anymore. And she told me all about this amazing guy named Vivic. Well, for the rest of the night, that was all Amrita, our cousin Nishta, and I could talk about. The way she talked about him could illuminate the darkest of rooms. Even though they had never met in real life yet, Vivic was able to unlock a light in Amrita that I had never seen before. For their first date, Nishta and myself had the privilege to be included in the process of helping Amrita get ready, which was great because Amrita was a complete nervous wreck. We, on the other hand, were in heaven doing her makeup and hair and feeling as if it was our first date as well. The conversations that took place included a lot of what ifs and how should I do this and that. It was a good thing that Nishta and I are basically love experts at this point because no one has watched more romantic movies than us. We sent her off looking like a stunning princess, or as Vivic would say, a goddess, and couldn't wait to hear about it when she got back. I think they hit it off quite nicely, right, everyone? Vivic couldn't be a better match for Amrita. If I had to describe him, I would simply say he's simply the male version of her. They're both so intelligent, hilarious, and youthful in the same way. And most importantly, they share the same humor. Vivic, I know we haven't spent that much time together, but I do know that I can come to you anytime for anime recommendations and advice on anything technology. I'm still looking for a laptop. I know that although you hadn't met any of us before, you were so eager to be part of our little cousins clique. You were so happy and willing to watch movies and play video games with us that it was hard not to see you as another one of our brothers. That, however, did not stop me from destroying you with Princess Peach. Now, I'm not sure if everyone knows how these two lovebirds met, but it truly was the sweetest thing. They were both friends of friends, and although they had heard about each other, no official meeting was set. Time passed, and one of Amrita's friends shared a picture of a pufferfish on Facebook, and in true Amrita form, she responded with a gif of Mrs. Puff from SpongeBob. Remember how I mentioned they had the same sense of humor? Well, Vivic laughed and made a comment about Mount Wanahakalui from Finding Nemo. Shortly after that, he sent her friend request, to which she accepted, and because they are the shy dogs that they are, Amrita sent him a wave, which sparked a conversation about this new feature Facebook had added, and the rest is history. Could you all imagine where these two would have ended up if Vivic didn't like SpongeBob? There's a Dr. Seuss quote that I think describes their relationship splendidly, and it goes, "You know when you're in love when you can't fall asleep, because reality is finally better than your dreams." Amrita, you have found your reality in Vivic. Their love for each other put into beautiful words of poetry, displayed on almost all of their Instagram and Facebook posts, can definitely put any Nicholas Sparks book to shame. Less than a year into their whirlwind romance, they both knew they'd found their perfect half, and Vivic made it official by getting down on one knee on December 25th, 2018. Their special day, originally set for August 1st, 2020, became a day everyone was excited for. I mean, she's the first in our clique and, more importantly, the first grandchild to get married. However, at the beginning of 2020, the increasing talk about COVID ensued, and fear about the wedding getting pushed back started sinking in. Unfortunately, COVID manifested into something monstrous, and the wedding was in fact pushed back. I cannot begin to imagine how hard that must have been for the both of you, especially since you were so far away from each other. I, however, have all admiration for the both of you, because despite having to deal with such a horrendous, unanticipated turn of events, you took every spare second to be with each other. Whether it was through all the non-stop video calls, nightly FaceTimes, playing Among Us, or just watching a show, you found a way to embrace each other while being in separate countries. But look at you now. You both look so stunning on your special day. And this is just the beginning of your lives together. Having my big sister move to another country to live with her dream man has not been the easiest concept to grasp. But no matter how far apart, we'll always be sisters at heart. Amrita, I know that you'll reach far places and even greater heights because your determination to be your best self can trample any obstacle. And Vivic, I just want you to remember to say those 3 special words to her every single day. You are right. Whenever you're wrong, be a man and admit. Whenever you're right, say nothing. As they say, a man who gives in when he's wrong is wise, and a man who gives in when he's right is married. And so, I would like to end by saying, love is a friendship that has caught fire, and may your love burn bright for years to come. Congratulations, and I love you both.
Well, okay then. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how SpongeBob brings together relationships. So you should always tell your children to watch SpongeBob. Now, ladies and gentlemen, due to the connections made by Amrita and her aunts and uncles, she received many more sisters, 2 of which, Amna and Lorena, could not physically attend due to the COVID-19 pandemic, though we know they are surely tuned into our live stream and leaving their excited comments. Of course, not to forget the brothers. However, she has another sister in Trinidad. Like a true big sister, Amrita has always been Nishta's #1 supporter throughout her entire musical career. She traveled across the country, near and far, to cheer her on, from the Marionettes concerts at Queen's Hall to international competitions in Los Angeles, where Amrita even chose her musical piece. Amrita herself shared a performance with Nishta some years ago, showcasing her own singing ability, which was formally reviewed as a hidden gem by some experts. Just like her sister Amara, Nishta is also devoted to her craft and her education. She is currently a second-year medical student pursuing her degree fastidiously at the Faculty of Medical Sciences. With Amrita and Amara, Nishta completes the trifecta of the Trinidadian sisters group known as the Spice Girls. Henceforth, as an act of sisterly love, Nishta Mohan would like to dedicate this special performance of Breathe by Faith Hill, filled with her utmost gratitude and love to the lovely newlywed couple.
Everybody needs inspiration. Everybody needs
I can feel the magic floating in the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, as with every other Trinidadian wedding and reception, there must be some technical difficulties. So, please wait.
feel the magic floating in the air. Being with you gets me that way. I watch the sunlight dance across your face, and I've never been this swept away. All my thoughts just keep the beating of your heart. 'Cause I can feel you breathe, it's washing over me, and suddenly I'm melting into you. There's nothing left to prove, baby, all we need is just to be caught up in the touch, slow and steady rush. Baby, isn't that the way that love's supposed to be? I can feel you breathe. Just breathe. In a way, I know my heart is waking up as all the walls come tumbling down. I'm closer than I've ever felt before, and I know, and you know, there's no need for words right now. 'Cause I can feel you breathe, it's washing over me, and suddenly I'm melting into you. There's nothing left to prove, baby, all we need is just to be caught up in the touch, slow and steady rush. Baby, isn't that the way that love's supposed to be? I can feel you you breathe. Just breathe. Yeah. Caught up in the touch, slow and steady rush. Baby, isn't that the way that love's supposed to be? I can feel you breathe. Just breathe. I can feel the magic floating in the air. Being with you gets me that way. Thank you.
Now that we have left the operating room with the young doctors, we move on to the courtroom with the lawyers who will give their testimony on the bride and groom. According to the court of law, marriage is treated as a social contract. Of course, I consulted Amrita about this. As they are bound by the holy thread, their terms and conditions must be honored. And you actually have to read those. So should any breaches of contract occur, you know who to call. So our next speech comes from the dynamic duo of Jayadevi Arjun and Shivana Lala. These lovely ladies are esteemed attorneys at law and two of Amrita's closest friends. They also helped her a lot with the massacre the other day. Both girls have also played a pivotal role in Amrita's life, acting as both trusted confidants and sources of eternal love and encouragement. They always had her back and looked out for her and also wanted the best for her. They bestowed her with perpetual support in every form, whether it be a compassionate hug or wise relationship advice. Truly, they were always the friends who would carry her somewhere and bring her back always safe and sound. Now I'd like to call our dual witnesses to the stand.
I've been reading books of old, the legends and the myths, Achilles and his gold, Hercules and his gifts, Spider-Man's control, and Batman with his fist. And clearly I don't see myself upon that list. But she said, where'd you wanna go? How much you wanna risk? I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale bliss. Just something I can turn to, somebody I can kiss. I want something just like this. I want something just like this.
This is the first wedding I am attending where the bride is my best friend. As such, I have been granted the honor, along with Shivana, to give a speech at this reception today as we celebrate the marriage of Vivic and Amrita. Amrita and I first met in September 2003 at Holy Faith Convent, Couva. My first impression of this tiny, quiet girl with a curly mane of hair was that she needed to be protected. That duty did not fall to me though, as we did not become close friends at that point. It fell to other girls, Shastine, Crystal, and Ambika among them, who are still friends with her to this day. I also remember simultaneously being impressed with Amrita because she was, for all her mild demeanor, quite clever and quick-witted when she spoke. As I said before, Amrita and I did not become close friends in convent, but had a casual, chatting relationship, which was mostly focused on Harry Potter discourse, as you did back in the early 2000s. It was only when we met again in 2010 in ILAS, when I began my law degree, that we really became close. I pretty quickly shed any impressions I had that Amrita was shy and quiet when I realized that I met an opinionated, fiery young woman. Our friendship flourished from there. We would mostly communicate by sending Harry Potter memes, which are still relevant to this day, to one another. But it was enough to cement our friendship. Even when I went off to London, she tolerated my messages at any hour of the night to talk about a variety of topics, from literal nonsense to venting about school, my complaining about homesickness, to more existential, deeper topics, and yes, even relationships sometimes. Amrita was even with me when I sustained my first major injury, a fractured ankle in April 2018, which I got whilst she and I were horsing around at a child's birthday party, her cousin Lorena no less. Luckily, she escaped unscathed. Incidentally, that was the day that she had told me about her blossoming relationship with some guy named Vivic, who had been commenting on quite a lot of her Facebook posts by my observations. I recall literally accosting her on the choo-choo train at her cousin Lorena's party and saying, "So Amrita, who is Vivic Harinanan?" She proceeded to tell me how many of their interests they had in common and how they would stay up till the early hours of the morning messaging each other and yet not running out of things to say. I can honestly say that I had never heard Amrita talk about a guy that way before. I can safely say that to this day, she still talks about him like that. That first crush, first love, head over heels gushing that makes even an outsider feel warm and happy for the speaker. Amrita was even instrumental in Shivana and I becoming friends. The three of us quickly bonded and almost became extensions of one another. As a matter of fact, in true Jaya and Vanna fashion, I was making last-minute adjustments to my speech at the table, and Vanna was trying to calm me down, saying, "Jaya, it's fine, don't worry about it, you'll be good." We told each other everything. I used to and do still look forward to our video group chats, where we stay up all night talking until one of us inevitably falls asleep. As of recently, Vivek has also become part of this tradition, with Amrita messaging him during our video chat and relaying messages back and forth among one another. Amrita, please know that I fully expect these video chats to continue once you're no longer in the same country as Vanna and I. Vivek, you are more than welcome to join us on video this time.
Good night, everyone. So, as attorneys, Jaya and I, we structured our speeches, but as individuals, I decided to do a speaking note as a throwback to when we had to face that in law school, because that was our first time having to deal with just going before a judge with just some points and just going off the top of our head. So I did that in honor of us. And also because Amrita has this habit of calling Vanna and just shooting me the weirdest things, and I have to reply and answer her and give her advice. And okay, so similarly, why when people would give you the quintessential present for your bridal shower, Vanna gave you a twister, because that's Vanna. Well, this is what I have to say. So on my speaking note, I'm going to talk about our history as friends, our personal memories, her qualities, and my advice to them. So our history is that we met in law school, which was approximately 6 years ago, not like from childhood like some of you lucky people, right? And we were in the same class at a point in time. I don't remember what the class was called. I think 8B or something. Yeah. And but we never really hung out as much as we do now. Now we are a trio, me, Amrita, and Jaya. And in light of that trio, I adopt everything Jaya has said. And I will move on to our personal memories. So one of my most special and fun memories of Amrita is in law school, where we would rarely talk in class, but we would occasionally just meet up in the, what do you used to call that area in the middle of the law school? Right? The lobby area, right? But they had a name for it. I don't, anyway, we would meet up there, and then we would just have this whole existential talk about life and our future, and how we were going to become attorneys, and how we were going to have clients, and what we were going to become. I would remember that. That's my friend. We always call each other friend. Vana friend, Amrita friend. And oh yeah, so I remember thinking to myself, I like this girl, and I still do. I always will. I also was the president of the Hindu Student Society, and Amrita was there for me no matter what. Bake sale, Amrita is there. We have a booth, Amrita was there. We had club meetings, Amrita was there. One of the memories I have, friend, you could remember you had a YSL lipstick that I loved when you would wear it. Vivek, make sure she continues wearing it, right? Even though you have to wear masks now, she used to look so pretty. And on to now her qualities. Two very special things I love about Amrita and I wish will always remain is that she is open-minded and she has not just a willingness but a desire, a joy to learn and to hear your side. And that's something very beautiful in this world where people have their opinions, they are entitled to, but Amrita wants to hear it and she has the brilliance to reply and give advice and whatnot. I love that about you. And she has a keen ability to adapt. I know some people would have called her a dork. Some, Jaya said, first time you see Amrita, she looks kind of shy, she kind of needed protection or whatever, but Amrita is very witty and she has this keen ability to adapt to any situation that comes her way, which would be very useful in your marriage. But despite her ability to adapt, she still retains her personality and her identity, and I cherish that about you. If you compliment Amrita enough, she will bow. And that's just her, and that's my friend. Okay, and on to my third point in my speaking note, which is my final thing, which is my advice to both of you. Well, I would have spoken to you all privately, and from that, I interacted with Vivek one-on-one, and I came to realize you truly are a wonderful partner for my friend. And I really want you to be there for her always. Amrita, you have a responsibility to do that with him too, right? I appreciate that about both of you, you all being there for each other. Keep that up. And one advice is, we have started a new year, 2021. I was telling Shasti and Jaya, I don't know what I'm going to do from tomorrow because I started this year in a wedding. You all have started a new year, a new life, a new lifetime together. And in life, there are a lot of changes that you could never even really fathom, like a pandemic, right? And in a life where there are so many changes, be each other's constant. So whenever you all have anything that you're going to face, at least you could say, Amrita loves me, Vivek loves me, and go forward. And I believe in you all, I love you all, and congratulations. And one more thing, when Jaya was scribbling, I had one more thing. I said, oh, I could say this too. We call ourselves a trio. My name is Shivana Amrita, her name is Jaya Devi, and her name is Amrita Devi. So we all connected. So that's my part, and Amrita and Jaya will close us off.
So that is typical Jaya and Vana. Vana is very chill, she kind of goes with the flow. I am over-prepared. I walked with tissues for everybody at the table just in case somebody needed to shed a tear. As we stand here today at the wedding reception of Amrita and Vivek, Vana and I are completely filled with joy at the sight of the newlywed couple. Truth be told, Amrita, I messaged Vivek during your Maticure night to tell him how beautiful and elated you looked. He responded, and I quote, "Does she ever not look stunning? But yes, I bet she looks a complete goddess at the moment." We all saw the moment Vivek became the literal physical embodiment of the heart eyes emoji when he saw Amrita for the first time yesterday as she made her way to their wedding altar, resplendent in her bridal attire. I only met Vivek face to face quite recently, but we have been chatting over social media for the past year or so. Every time we spoke, I could tell how in love he is with Amrita and that they share a deep, enduring love for each other. They embody the idiom, love is patient, love is kind, as they've gracefully dealt with the postponement of their wedding and starting their lives together. Their love has stood the test of time and distance, and I am honored to have been witness to it and to participate in this auspicious weekend. So please join me in making a toast to Mr. and Mrs. Harinanan. May your marriage be filled with love and happiness. I love you both. I didn't cry.
Amrita never hugged me so, bro. All right then. Anyways, so next on your program, some of the audience members didn't hesitate to give their comments. So one of Amrita's closest friends said that, they sent a pack of tissues for Amrita. And then Vivek's cousin, Candice, she came and was like, that's for Vivek, that's not for Amrita. So here's your pack of tissues. So a pack of tissues for them in case they want to cry. Our next speaker is the human embodiment of the quote, with great power comes great responsibility. I don't know what movie that comes from, but I think Vivek likes that movie. Anil Jamunar, or as he is simply known as Uncle Anil. He's the father of Vivek's very close friend Stephen, he will be speaking about soon. Both of their families also became extremely close. They were like siblings to each other. Uncle Anil is an inspirational figure in Vivek's life, motivating him to reach for the stars and never settle for anything less than greatness. He would also encourage Vivek to make the best of his springtime of his youth, instilling in Vivek an adventurous spirit and an ambition for excellence. Without further ado, I would like to invite this family guy onto the stage.
Well, after all, it is a wedding. Sitaram, thank you, and very fitting Master of Ceremonies, the Tassa. So hello, good evening to one and all. I'd like to express my thanks to Vivek and Amrita in bringing us together in celebration of their love and marriage. Vivek, Amrita, thank you. Without you guys here, none of us will be here. So today we want to express our love, appreciation, and thanks for you all having us here to celebrate your marriage. So a lot has been said, and I'm not sure how much more is to be said. But what I can say to you guys is, as the MC rightfully said, that I'm a very close friend of the family, and I am fondly known as Uncle Anil. And it's my son, Stephen Jamuna, that literally grew up with Vivek. So I've known the Harinanan family for many years, mainly through associated families and temple services. But it was through the pursuit of education of my own son, Stephen, who attended Florida Institute of Technology in Melbourne, Florida. Along with Vivek, and just, bear with me if I get a little emotional, because Vivek is like, he's not just, he's like a son to me. And sometimes when you try to, to say and talk, and the words just start to just, because can I get those tissues instead? Just joking. But as I was saying, my son and Stephen, they both went to Florida Institute of Technology in Melbourne, Florida. And right off, from the very start, they hit it off together. And of course, I must mention Sam, a Chinese national with a British passport who was raised in Tobago. So right off the bat, these guys called him Tobago. So with Sam, Vivic, and Tobago, they all went to Florida Institute of Technologies. These three guys, they were roommates for all their undergraduate studies. So it was no strange that after the first year and they had to move out of campus, that they would choose a 3-bedroom unit to share. Think about it, 3 guys, 1 new apartment. My God. That would have been some fun. So I will not go into more details about this. Amrita, you've heard the stories. I think you've heard too many stories, some of it. But what I have to say, that did not deter her. The stories of these 3 guys in Florida Tech, they shared so many things together. They did a lot together. They had quite a few drinks as well, from what I understand. But you can tell that after everything and all of that, and Amrita is still here with her, and you can tell that she's a very resilient woman. And because of that, Amrita, I can tell you're going to have a very successful marriage. So there was one thing that really moved me. There was one thing that really moved me, and that was, when they were moving into this apartment, they wanted to do puja. So these guys decided that, well, okay, they're going to have a blessing at their home. And to do this blessing, so they, of course, Stephen contacted his Guruji, Pandit Bimal Maharaj. And he said, Babs, I have to do puja. We have to bless the place. Think about it. 3 young guys in high school, in university, asking to do puja? Come on. But you know what that is? It's their upbringing. It's those 2 couples, that couple right there. It's their upbringing that showed them the value of what prayer can do. And that prayer led to their success. But you know what? It goes one step further. This guy, Sam, the Chinese guy, he says, well, I want to fast too. I want to do puja. So we go, what? He said, well, that's my homies, so I got to do puja as well. So, knowing the kind of Babs, Pandit that Guruji that Stephen has, he said, you know what? Okay, I'll do a small invocation, let you do the puja as well. That made Sam happy. Can you imagine what that is? Just the resilience and dedication of someone to do that? That shows the bond. Right there showed that bond. So, there are many things that I want to talk about. There are many things that, that happen in these guys' lives. And, there goes my speech, there goes technology. I should have walked with paper like everybody else. So, I'll just wing it. So, after having this bond with these guys, and they grew up, Vivid, of course, he pursued his studies in aerospace engineering, and he did fantastic. That allowed him to move to Clemson University, where he further pursued his studies. Without much further, he got a dream job. But it was easy to understand why he would get a job like that. When you look at the individual, when you look at that young man, his resilience, his strength. It's very, very easy to realize that. And that's the kind of person that a woman looks for. So with all of the SpongeBob and all of the Harry Potter talks and everything, right behind all of that comes strength, comes a man. And that's what Vivic is. So he can be childish, and he can grow up with all of his characters and be what? But that is a very strong man. And Amrita, my darling, I can tell you that when you need him, he's going to be there. You know, we've had many talks, you know. We call them TED Talks. That's what they call them now, TED Talks. You know, and you know, he told me one time, he says, Uncle Anil, you know what happened? I expect Amrita to move up there with me, but I'm not sure what she's going to do. She's going to want to pursue a work. Maybe a work at home, maybe something. But I have there to support her. Can you imagine, not even married as yet, but thinking about that individual? How many of us do that? How many of us will sit down and think about your partner and what they want? He said, you know what? I'm going to support her. Whatever she wants, I'm going to support her. He said that. There's no denying. He said that I'm going to, if I have to come home and I have to help her with the housework and do the chores, he's going to do that. You know why? His dad does that. That's why. He got great upbringing. He got a strong foundation. That Harry Nanan family is a prominent family. Very prominent. They come from hardworking family. If you listen and understand the few words that his grandfather spoke of yesterday, you would understand the stature of that family. His voice may be feeble, but his words are powerful. And that's Vivic. That's his eyeball. There are many, many other talks that we had about. But Amrita, I'm going to tell you this. He's going to stand by you. He's going to be that man that you want him to be. And I can tell from all of your friends, you're going to be that woman that he needs. You're both going to grow in love and in strength and in peace. So there's so many more that we could all talk about this couple. But there's so many things. They spoke. Did you see what Pandit Tiwari did yesterday? That was the most beautiful ceremony. Why? Why such a beautiful ceremony? Why choose to ignore Sanatan Dharma? Remove the vows that we all speak and speak of the truth. As Sri Vivekananda Swamiji said, the truth of love, the truth of marriage. These are the things that we have to understand. So you see, again, look at it. They are talking about all of the nice stuff, but they're talking about strength. They're talking about truth. They're talking about commitment. They're talking about love. And that is the very foundation that you need in today's society. They're going to be, I'm not going to talk about his accomplishments. I'm not going to, because I won't finish. I'm not going to talk about Amrita, because she's a wonderful person. When a man looks at his mother and sees love in his eyes, and sees love in her eyes, then you can tell that that man can love another woman. When he sees love in that mother's eyes, you know that he's a compassionate man. And he's going to show that same kind of love for you, Derek. For that same kind of love for your daughter. You're going to see that. because you can tell. Look at the very pictures that they have taken. You can see it. You can tell that he's going to have an excellent relationship with his brother-in-law because they understand each other. So today, with these few words that I have spoken, I was really honored. I am so honored to stand before you and say something, for Vivic, for me to say something on behalf of Vivic and the Harinanen family. But Derek, I give you an assurance that what you have is a gem, and what Vivic has is the jewel of your family. So, I have one more little surprise for you. I'd like to introduce my son. No, unfortunately, he's not here with me. So he himself has committed to love. He himself has, gone that path of love. But his love resides in the US. And they got engaged in early January of this year. But because of COVID, he had to stay. He came back to be with us and stay with us. And the second week of December, he flew back to be with her, to be with that wonderful family. So Stephen, he did a little presentation for you, Vic. That's your boy. Always going to be the boys. 2 Indian and a Chinese. What do you think about that? So, if I can ask, I'll introduce my son, Stephen Jamuna.
Good day, Sir Vivic and Lady Amrita, Mr. and Mrs. Harinanen.
We wanted to wish you an amazing, happy wedding today. We're so happy for you guys. Amrita and Vivic, I send you all my love, and we're really sorry we couldn't be there today, but we're looking forward to celebrating with you in person very, very soon when there's a good time for everybody. For now, have fun and enjoy yourselves, and I'll let this guy do the talking.
All right, well, for the big occasion today, what can I say? Vivic, you and I have been talking about this day for years and years. Yes, literally when I first met Vivic, he told me, boy, the only thing I want in life is a wife. Yes, literally the first thing he said to me. But Vivic and I, we met in college, and through the adventures we had in college, really some of the most memorable times of my life. Through all of the BBC trips, the long nights filled with tote music, and the Vivic and Sam ice-capades, yes, ask him about that. But you know what's even crazier? I remember releasing all of these files to Amrita, and even then, she still wanted to marry you. So, yeah, you got a good one, Vivic. Amrita, my dear, when I first met you, I can't tell you how comfortable I felt with you. I felt such love, and I felt such endearment to you, and I was trying to figure out, why do you make me feel like I know you from somewhere? And then I looked next to you, and I saw it. I saw Vivic. Yeah, you're Vivic. No, I mean that in the best way possible. I love the guy. And really and truly, you guys are both beyond intelligent, but just quirky in such a cute manner. You guys make the perfect couple. Amrita, I'm going to tell you again, I want to vouch for this guy. I will vouch for him time and time again. He's not just a good one, he's one of the best. He's a guy who's been waiting his life to dedicate it to someone. And I'm so glad that someone is you. Now, guys, I wanted to say one last thing. Auntie Lakshmi, when we met, when Vivic and I were in college, you gave me parting words and you told me, take care of your son. I have stood by those words very carefully, and I am so proud today to see my boy standing up strong next to his wife. I'm so proud of him. But I am also so glad to relieve my duties today and pass it on to your new, beautiful daughter-in-law, Amrita. We wish you guys nothing but love and happiness throughout your years together. I really, really do wish we could have been there, but I know we will have many adventures to come. All right? So, lastly,
Adventures and double dates.
a toast to bride and groom, Mr. and Mrs. Harinanan. Cheers to you, good sir, and my lady. Take care, guys. Cheers.
Powerful speeches, ladies and gentlemen. However, he did say one thing that was very incorrect. Those were not pictures taken by Vivic and Amrita. Those pictures taken by me. So if there's anybody who took those pictures with love, it was me. So I heard a comment from the audience, I don't know, audience member, a brother of a person in the audience. He said, but I thought this was Amrita's longest friend. How come she didn't talk yet? So I was like, well, you know, you gotta give Shishi a moment to shine. So our next speaker is Amrita's oldest, nearest, and dearest friend of 17 years. Shastina and Amrita met in Holy Faith Convent, Vancouver, in Form 1. And their lives have been inextricably linked ever since. Their families share a tight, close-knit relationship and are practically family to each other. Both girls blossom side by side, maturing into beautiful and fiercely independent women of their own merit. After high school, both girls pursued the same professional career and took their fiery personality and strong moral compass into the courts of law and order. Both of them became respectable attorneys, and through the testament of time, Shahzeen has become Amrita's very own big sister, someone who she can trust and depend on when she needs someone the most, and someone who has served as a secondary protector who has always had Amrita's best interests at heart. I mean, she was the one who introduced them to each other, in a way. Hence, I'd like to call upon Shastin Motilal to step into the ring.
Time to play the game. It's all about the game and how you play it. All about control. If you can take it, all about your dad. If you can play it, it's all about playing. Who's gonna make it?
Good night, everyone. My name is Shastin, as you know, and I'm Amrita's adopted older sister. When I was asked to give this speech, there was so much I thought about sharing with all of you. But of course, every fairy tale has a beginning, and Amrita and I began sometime in 2003. We met in Form 1 at Holy Faith Convent, Vancouver, and became friends thereafter. She was very tiny and cute and quiet looking, but I quickly learned that by no means was she quiet. She was rather brave and fierce. She could tell off anybody attempting to give her attitude, including teachers. She was so cool. I am quite a loner, but somehow Amrita has managed to put up with me through convent, law school, and beyond. Our friendship has survived over 17 years, and it's mainly because she's one of the most genuine and caring persons. She always remembers your birthday. She always makes sure to check in on you. And if I post a status or photo on Facebook, I can always rely on her to comment and like. Sometime around 2015, my boyfriend introduced me to his friend Vivic. I macroed his profile on Facebook, and then I was like, oh my God, he's the male version of Amrita. I made sure to inform the both of them that they would make a cute couple, but of course they ignored me for a few years. Fast forward to 2018, the 13th of March 2018 to be exact. I shared a video of a pufferfish eating worms on Facebook. Said bride and groom began a flirtatious exchange in the comment section of my Facebook post. I got about 50 notifications. Only the two of them could do this. I then thought to myself, ah yes, my years of chucking fire have finally paid off. From that day on, the bride and groom began their quantum entanglement, and well, here we are today. According to Google, at this point in my speech, I'm supposed to give advice on the key to a good marriage. However, I'm not married, so I don't know. But the bride is an attorney at law and the groom is an engineer, so I'm confident that they will figure out the right formula to make it work. I would now like to congratulate the both of you. I love you and I wish you a lifetime of joy and happiness. Let's all raise our glasses to the bride and groom.
I was waiting for so long for a miracle to come.
Our next contender is Chris Silochan, a longtime colleague of Amrita's father since 2000. Over the years, he has become a mentor to Amrita, as well as his superior. Chris is a distinguished, highly qualified attorney at law by profession, displaying great erudition in his chosen field. Additionally, Chris is also the editor-in-chief of the Paradise Pulse magazine, as well as a lecturer in the Hewarding Law School. If one had to go through all of Chris's abundance of qualifications, we'd be here all night. So without further ado, please welcome Mr. Chris Silochan onto the stage.
Master of Ceremonies, specially invited guests, Vivic and Amrita. I don't know why everybody's surprised when I tell them that's one of my favorite songs, but it is actually one of my favorite songs, so thanks for playing that. My history with this family actually goes back well beyond my relationship, professional relationship with Amrita. And it actually, as the MC said, goes back some 20 years ago when I met this gentleman in front of him, Mr. Derek Sanka. And I met him as a student at the Hewarding Law School. Derek and I were colleagues and quickly became close friends. And we had a group of us that would lime together or hang out together, and we would call ourselves the boys. Derek knows what I'm talking about. And we all came from very similar backgrounds. We all came from very humble backgrounds. And we knew that we had to work hard to succeed. And we stuck it out together. There were many challenges, but at the end of the day, we were all successful. Derek is someone who, over the years, has been somewhat like a role model to me. He's always been someone who's very unselfish. I identify that even in law school. He's someone who would be willing to share whatever he had. And as a result of that, he was somewhat of a leader of the group. And when he qualified as an attorney at law, he continued to be a leader. He continued to advance professionally. And today, Derek Sanka stands tall as one of the most prominent persons, not just in the legal profession, but in the field of science. He's now very prominently employed at the Forensic Science Center in Trinidad and Tobago. His wife, Shaida, is someone who I met sometime later. And upon meeting her, I realized that this was a very humble, hardworking person, comes from a brilliant family. I mean, if you speak with her and get to know some of her relatives, really, really brilliant people, nice people, humble people as well. They make a wonderful couple. And they have raised these two children. Today we're here to honor Amrita, her brother, who is the MC. I didn't realize that he could speak so well, so congratulations. Maybe you have a second career if medicine doesn't work out. All right, but stick to the medicine for now. But, and I just want to pay tribute to Mr. and Mrs. Derek Sanka for what they've done, not just in terms of instilling this high degree of educational standards in their offspring, one qualifying in the legal profession and one in the medical profession, but also with the values. They're both extremely decent human beings. Derek is actively involved at the Edinburgh Hindu Temple, as Pandit Diwari would have said yesterday, those of you who were fortunate to attend the wedding ceremony. And they've raised these two outstanding people. So I just want you to put your hands together for Mr. and Mrs. Derek Sanka, please. So many years later, Amrita decided that she wanted to study law. She qualified as an attorney. She did exceptionally well in law school, having done exceptionally well in secondary school. So Derek and I had a conversation. Amrita was interested in, private practice. She wanted someone to apprentice to. So about 4 years ago, Amrita came and joined our chambers. And when she came in, very reserved, petite young lady, and I had her sitting with me in meetings at first, conferences at first with clients, and she would sit there, she would take notes. I realized there and then that she was exceptional at note-taking, but I always identified her wrongly in retrospect as this reserved person. And I remember one day that she was sitting in with me with a conference with a client who was being extremely difficult. As we say in Trinidad, he was being very, very ignorant. And I had to bite my tongue not to say anything, but he was being very rude, very ignorant. And all of a sudden, Amrita suddenly interjected and came in a very professional, in a very forthright, but in a very firm manner. She told the client that this was not the way that he was to conduct himself. And I was taken aback that this was Amrita. I knew Derek, I've known Derek for 20 years, that is classic Derek. But I've never seen this side of Amrita. And ever since that, Amrita started to participate more and more in conferences. She started to sit in with me during court matters. She is a fine instructing attorney at law. She's excellent in legal research, highly intelligent, writes very, very well. One of my pet peeves as a lecturer is how many persons we have today who are pursuing tertiary education, even postgrad, and they cannot write properly. Amrita is excellent. She's fantastic. Her grammar, her English, everything is excellent. And her note-taking skills. She has a particular skill. I don't know where she got that from. But Amrita has this ability where she would write word for word when a witness is speaking and produce everything word for word, not in shorthand, in neat handwriting. I don't know where she gets that from, and she's able to repeat that on the computer as well. So she's pointing to her mom, so Shaida, I don't know if that's where she got that from. Amrita is an exceptional human being. I had the privilege of meeting Vivic in December of last year, where we had a very, very small gathering to celebrate Christmas at the office. And I want at this stage pay tribute to her colleagues who are here, Diana, Crystal, Linda, they're seated at this table, a couple of others who could not attend, Mr. Kaulisa and Samantha, due to circumstances beyond their control. So Amrita came and she brought Vivic. And when she brought Vivic, this was the first opportunity that I had to meet Vivic. So needless to say, if you think Mr. Sanka has high standards, you should know my standards. And I looked at Vivic and I said, Vivic, you are getting a princess. I said, Vivic, you are getting a princess. Because in all the years when I've interacted with young attorneys, you would meet young attorneys. Some of them are beautiful physically, some of them have great values, some of them are intelligent. But you will hardly find someone with this combination that Amrita has. She's beautiful, she's intelligent, and she has values. And that is something that, and I say this without any exaggeration. I say this, I'm not here to mama guy anybody, because people who know me will tell you I do not mama guy people, I tell you as it is. And this young lady is a princess. So Vivic, you are very, very fortunate. You are taking our princess from us. Please take care of her. Amrita is going to excel wherever she goes. She has excelled at secondary school, in law school. She has excelled in the profession, and I have no doubt in my mind that when she goes abroad, whatever she decides to do, whether she decides to continue pursuing law, whether she decides some other field, Amrita is going to excel, because she has that values, those values which were instilled in her by the Sankas and by the extended family as well, on both sides. And of course, she has that in her. She has that in her to work hard and to overcome all obstacles. She's a very fun-loving person, apart from being very serious. Amrita is the one who convinced me to binge watch Game of Thrones. Amrita is the one who, I have a secret hobby. I do play Nintendo Switch from time to time. And when I need advice on any games, Amrita is the one who I would go to. So she's really an all-round person. She's a super talented person. She's a wonderful human being. I'm so, so happy. Mixed feelings for me because I'm sad to lose her as a member of the Chambers because I know she will be going abroad and living soon. But I'm very happy to see her moving ahead in life. And I want to thank both of them for starting off 2021 like this for all of us. 2020 was such a gloomy year. And what a wonderful way to start off 2021 with this marriage. So let's give them a round of applause. So Vivic, congratulations. You look like, from what everyone has said, fantastic young man, very accomplished. I wish you all the best. And one word of advice, it's said that for a marriage to be perfect or for a marriage to work, both parties must fall in love many times, but fall in love with the same person. And that's the catch. So Amrita and Vivic, I wish you a lifetime of happiness, and I wish that you fall in love with each other many, many times. Thank you very much.
So you heard him spoke about Amrita's turn talking tools. So a little secret I'd like to share with everyone is that Amrita called me right before and she gave me a stern talking to say, you know, don't bust any files, right? I can't make any promises, but you might, you know, see something. But for now, our next speaker has been introduced already. He hails from the beautiful island of Tobago. With Vivic, he forms the famous duo of Harold and Kumar. Some of you can't watch that. That's for people over the age of 18. His name is pronounced Ji Chung Ho or Sam. You can also call him Tobago, as said before. He's considered a ride or die friend. Whether it be fasting with Vivic for prayers or going on the craziest escapades known to man, Sam is always a willing participant in any of Vivic's range of pursuits. Sam was Vivic's first roommate in college and has a PhD in mathematics. He must have applied this to one of their favorite pastimes, which is playing all fours, which they can play at any day, any time, and any place. Now, here to show us how it's done in Tobago, here is Sam G.
Okay, that's okay. Yo, dog, Vivic, here's Mary.
Hi.
As my girlfriend. Sorry I have to introduce her to you like this, but I'm taking this video while we're both here together. We want to congratulate you and Amrita on your wedding right next month. By then, I'll send you this video then. But okay. So I hope that when you both come to America, we can all hang out together and do away with the stress. I mean, it's been a rough year, and I just want to say you both deserve a lot, and I'm finally glad you're both together. And okay, and she would like to talk to you about Clemson as well, since you both attended there. Okay, so for now, once again, congratulations, and see you back in America. Right, peace. Okay, that's okay. Yo, dog, Vivic, here's Mary.
Hi.
As my girlfriend. Sorry I have to introduce her to you like this, but I'm taking this video while we're both here together. We want to congratulate you and Amrita on your wedding right next month. By then, I'll send you this video then. But okay. So I hope that when you both come to America, we can all hang out together and do away with the stress. I mean, it's been a rough year, and I just want to say you both deserve a lot, and I'm finally glad you're both together. And okay, and she would like to talk to you about Clemson as well, since you both attended there. Okay, so for now, once again, congratulations, and see you back in America. Right, peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, that speech was so nice they had to play it twice. So I spoke earlier on the close bonds that Amrita had with her aunts and uncles. From the UK, her auntie Mamida and uncle Zahid, and their two wonderful children, Amna and Hassan, got all dressed up for the event yesterday and made a wide assortment of food to simulate the experience. I assumed it would be doing the same for today and are following attentively till the live stream. She made sure to send her best wishes to Amrita and even had a personal message to send for her. Due to the COVID-19 situation, another close relative and his family could not attend physically, but I know they would be watching excitedly. I would hope that we all had that cool uncle that would develop our sense of wonder in the world. For our family, it was Uncle Ahad. More professionally, he's known as Dr. Ahad Dean. For Uncle Ahad was always the life of the party and our major source of fun and adventure growing up. He always had an insatiable hunger for the high of adrenaline, participating in many thrill-seeking activities such as skydiving and scuba diving. He's a certified scuba diver. Furthermore, much to the discomfort of our parents, me and Amrita, he introduced different forms of technology to our lives back in them old Nokia days. Of course, the irony is that my parents would also ask Amrita to solve all of their tech-related problems, always calling us at ungodly hours in the night to find out about how to work their phone. His ability to balance this lifestyle with his meritorious ability in the field of medicine makes him one of the biggest role models in the family, as he is a fully qualified ophthalmologist and a vitreoretinal surgeon. However, if we list all of his accomplishments, we would be here until next week. So, family is the most important factor in his life, so we'll be speaking about his family. From his incredibly close relationship with his mom, to his own family with his glamorous wife, and also his two adorable and energetic children. His daughter was dancing to Tassa yesterday online. Since Amrita would be his first niece to get married, he was incredibly eager to speak for her wedding, just as her father had done for him on his wedding day a few years ago. Now here to impart his own words of wisdom is Uncle Ahad. Director on the CG.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of my family, my wife and 2 children, I would like to congratulate the bride and groom, Amrita and Vivic, on embarking on their wonderful journey of marriage. It gave me great joy to be able to witness the wedding ceremony of Amrita to Vivic. Although many miles away, it was an incredibly special occasion to see my eldest niece looking so beautiful and ecstatic as she took her sacred vows of marriage. Amrita has always been a shining example to her peers, but even more so as a big sister to her adoring brother and 8 cousins. With her beaming smile and warm heart, she held each and every one of the 9 grandchildren of my mom and showered them with love and affection from the time they were born to this present day. But the happy and carefree spirit that epitomizes her everyday disposition did not come by chance. It was the product of genuine affection that transcended from her immediate family and her remarkably close extended family. It is this very closeness bond within the family that has helped to mold her into the astute, diligent, and compassionate lawyer sitting here this evening, and augurs well for Vivic, whom I have no doubt will be forever grateful for making this exceptionally precise choice of his lifelong partner. I look forward to spending many more cherished moments with my dear niece and her wonderful husband. Hopefully, the old-fashioned way of face-to-face meetings instead of virtual meetings. I wish you and Vivic good health, strength, and all the happiness that the world has to offer, because you certainly deserve it. In closing, I do hope that you enjoy the rest of this wonderful reception with the friends and family here today.
So, ladies and gentlemen, an audience member, the groom's mom, had some choice words to tell me in my ears just now. She was real buffing and she was like, "Where my daughter? How come she had talk yet?" Well, now, we have the, okay, wait. Last but certainly not least, our final speaker for the night is Kerry Harinanan, who is Vivic's beloved and incredibly talented Imoto, or in English, his younger sister. She attained her degree in business management from the University of North Carolina, Asheville. She has considerable skill in the arts, flawless style, and impeccable skill in dancing. Our fashionista, Kerry, has a wonderful sunny and bubbly personality. She's a great lover of animals, especially her little Shiba Inu puppy, who's adorable. His name is Mr. Sora. He's probably attentively watching as well. Furthermore, she possesses an extraordinary capacity to love. This is shown by the incredibly strong shopping body, party body, long-time homie, Vivic. She has a strong connection with her sibling Vivic, who has always been her roomie. The two have always been mistaken as twins. Together, they went through it all, the good and the bad, space and time, setbacks and serendipity, from Trinidad to Florida to North Carolina and the great beyond. Here to show us the true meaning of sibling love, well, after me and Amrita, is Kerry Harinanan, sorry.
Sitaram and good evening, everyone. On behalf of my family and myself, we would like to thank everyone for joining us today. Whether you're joining in person or on a screen right now, thank you for being part of this wonderful occasion. Given the circumstances, I am unable to be there in person today to share these words. However, that doesn't take away any of the joy I feel today for Vivic and Amrita. My brother today is not only a husband, he is a partner for life, a protector, a best friend, and hopefully, a dad in 2021. That's my prediction, at least. Viv, we've been through a lot together. We've been able to be at our highest and our lowest moments together. I witnessed your successes and your struggles throughout your life, and I cannot emphasize how much I appreciate, and I'm so honored to be able to say that you are such an incredible man, and I'm so proud of you. You were always my childhood friend, from our random games to our Beyblades in our yard, to doing our all-night game nights from the time we were kids to even now. So sorry, Mom and Dad, we had our strategies from since day one. Viv, you were always my adversary, my confidant, and my friend. All of my best memories either consist of you in them or were because of you. You always saw the best in me, even when I didn't see it myself. You always pushed me to be a better version of myself, even when I felt like I wasn't able to. You're always my role model and always will be, and I cannot emphasize how much I love and appreciate having you as my older brother. Thank you for being my bony butt Oni-chan, and thank you for being such a wonderful uncle to your little fur nephew Sora, even though he does need a little more attention sometimes, but that's okay. To Amrita, thank you for being your most authentic, most beautiful and poofy little self. I couldn't have asked for a better older sister to have gained in our family now. And thank you for also being Vivic's little ray of sunshine. I appreciate how much you care and cherish him, and you've provided the gift to not only me but also to my parents that he is going to be in the best hands possible. You have not only impacted Vivic, but you've also impacted my parents and myself. You bring so much love into the room that the first time I met you, you were so delicate and so sweet and warm that I swore you were a real-life Disney princess. I still have this theory, so please let me know. To Auntie Shaida, Uncle Derek, and Kavir, thank you for making Amrita into the woman that she is today. She is truly an angel sent from heaven. To Vivic and Amrita, the road will not always be smooth. From today, you are each other's rocks, your co-pilots, and your equals. Always speak your minds, listen attentively, and compromise. Also, can you guys really get Sora like a cousin soon? It could be a puppy one or a human one. 2021, guys, 2021. I wish you only love, happiness, and prosperity in your marriage, and cannot wait to give you guys the biggest hugs when I get to see you both. Thank you all so much for listening to my words today, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening. Stay healthy and happy, and love you all so much. Bye.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know I told you all, send your comments on the chat, right? But one particular audience member took it very literally, and she wanted to say a few words on behalf of the bride and groom. So we'll be going mobile for this speech. Here she is in her red dress.
Good night, each and every one of you. I can't stand. I'm too weak to stand. But on behalf of Vivic and Amrita, good advice. You have to be strong and healthy. I's a rock. I passed through many rough days in my life. I married 5 children, see them to university by myself. I had happiness, sadness, and most pain nobody could ever have. Childbirth of my second daughter without anybody. Cry for help. The world didn't come. So, children, all you have strength, have faith in God, and things will work out. So leave the best for the last. Story of Amrita, she mother and father. I have my 5 children. They are teenage daughters and 1 boy. All my neighbors have grandchildren, and I don't have any. And I've almost beat Amrita's mother, crawling, crying. Why don't you get married? Mrs. Khan walking in the stroller with your grandchild. And me a hand on everybody walking and I a hand on. Big argument. Suddenly she in university with hardship, sufferment, but I still pull through with them children. With the little we get, we do it. Suddenly she come now when she almost qualified. She said, Mommy, a friend coming today, a friend. I say, you true? She said, yes. He bringing a book for me. So I say, all right. So when the friend come and he bring the book and he talk and think, then he have, bush her eye. He didn't know that one of the neighbor know the father and mother good. News don't go by the father and mother. Oh, my neighbor, your son Lyman, by my neighbor, yeah. I see the big car. The Benz by we there, man, by my neighbor. So he come and she said, Mommy, Derek want to carry by Gulf City now. I said, what? And I said, your friend come? What he carrying to Gulf City for? No. Derek, from that day, Derek respect me up till now he afraid. Suddenly again, when she don't qualify, Derek don't qualify. He said, Mommy, I like a boy and I want to marry them. I said, who is the boy? He said, Derek. I said, but then that was your friend, or was your friend in you? You understand? Then when she married and now, she said, I said, you're married now, you are getting me grandchild. She said, look now, I just married a lady, so we always fighting for this grandchild. Then she come and she tell me, Mommy, I'm pregnant. I said, good. All time to have the child now. She best friend is a doctor. So they go on Port of Spain General Hospital. They go say, Shada mommy, we have to go now, Shada in pain. So, all right, my daughter can me go on. So he said, well, Shada mommy, you go back home now, she haven't had the baby yet. So I gone back home. So now big night, almost the next morning, I sleeping. I couldn't sleep. I dreaming my granddaughter. And I dreaming how beautiful she is. And she's a girl and I like boys. But she's a girl, she know I like boys. So she come before she born to know if she grandmother will like she. So I well play with she. So I wake my daughter and I tell my daughter, I say, call Derek right now. Shada having a baby and it's a girl and it's a pretty nice girl. She pink. So he called Derek. Derek said, no, she in labor, but she might have it just now. While they're talking, Shada friendly doctor say, Derek, Shada have the baby is a girl. He's still in the phone with my daughter. He said, how your mother know that she's a girl? But I know every one of them when they have a baby. And I deal with all of them, all 9 grandchildren. I witness all a childbirth and I be with them. And today I day here today. But Amrita, I had to thank Derek and Shida for giving me their own firstborn child. Who could do that? Nobody in this world. They leave their child with me not to come back in the evening for a child. They leave my child with me for years for my comfort. You see how selfish I am? And they give me their child. And that is a love and a cherishment for me and my daughter, Omaida. You never could get another well-behaved child than that. Children just throw down and take up and throw down and knock away things. That child is only play with the sitting room chair, the cushion, pack them high and bring it down and quiet. And when my daughter come from school, bathe and eat, the two of them, the lawyer boy talk about ambitious and this. Yeah, she really is like that. She done in 1 year time, she correcting with my daughter correcting the children work. She takes she book and correcting too. She don't know what she doing, but she done writing already. When the boy say about how she could write good. Mother could write good too. Mother is 2 years old. She get to write. Poor thing can write good. She get pong hand early morning. Pong she 2 fingers. By the next day when the people come back, the evening, this child could have done right from A to Z, and from 1 to 10, they were surprised, the whole book. So there she gets her handwriting from. From a 2-year-old child, she get licks to write pong hand, and she could have write. And that is my story of my granddaughter. She is too precious a child. And all of them is too precious to me. And I is the instrument of Amrita, all of them. And Amrita hold on to her grandmother with love. And she get a loving husband, Vivic. He is an over sweet child. He comes from a very good family. They look as nice people. And Vivic lucky and Amrita lucky. All right? Thank you all.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you might be wondering, how could you experience strong feelings like this? So I asked someone for advice on this topic, and he gave me some personal advice about marriage and love, or just for having compassion. He said, when you go home at night, you should take off the lights and watch a scary movie. So then, you'll always feel like someone's right behind you. Finally, we have the people of the hour, our lovely newlywed couple, Vivic and Amrita Harinanan. Vivic is an extremely skilled and highly qualified engineer, and of course you know all of his achievements by now. He has a bachelor's degree in aerospace engineering, a master's in mechanical engineering, and even worked for NASA at some point in time. On the other hand, Amrita is an attorney at law, and according to Vivic's mathematical and scientific calculations, the world's smallest person. Both Vivic and Amrita have shared a deep and profound love for the cosmos, often fondly referring to themselves as children of the stardust. Their meeting was an act of universal providence, as their connection was instantaneous and powerful. As time passed, their relationship flourished, the resonance of their souls growing ever stronger into a state of quantum entanglement, as you may have seen in the card provided. And now, arriving at the crossroads of their destiny, Vivic and Amrita's fates are now irrevocably intertwined forever as husband and wife. Their love is as infinitely ethereal as the star-studded skies above. Now here to save me from running out of fancy words is the main man himself, Vivic Harinanan.
First things first, I want to thank Kuvir for his great introduction. He's already provided quite the spoiler that Amrita and I are really big nerds. And this is going to become apparent because I'm going to begin my speech with a bit of a science lesson. So I apologize, not really, for being a big nerd right now. But let's start this party with the concept of quantum entanglement. It's a phenomenon where two or more entities may be in the exact same state at all times, no matter the distance between them. Electrons may have the same spin, humans may feel the same emotions. Either way, the laws of the universe have a tendency to manifest themselves in such charming ways. It's through this fascinating principle that we are all gathered here today, whether in person, at home, overseas, to celebrate this momentous occasion. From the earliest days of our relationship, both Amrita and I felt the corridors of our minds connect and conjure an arcane network of resonant thoughts and emotions. It was not long before our lives became fully in sync. Now here we are today, married. It's all science, guys. So on behalf of my wife and I, wow, that feels so good to say. We would first like to thank each and every one of you for braving the apocalypse to join us today. We are also grateful for those tuned into the live stream on YouTube, especially to those overseas. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. We truly wish that you would have joined us in person here today, but we would hopefully make up for it in the future, as Amrita and I probably aren't going to stop celebrating this moment. After this intense and unpredictable year, we are truly humbled by the love and support provided by our families to make this wedding possible. We extend a special thank you to Amrita's parents for putting the love of my life into existence. They have played a pivotal role in who she is today, and I appreciate it daily. Amrita's dad has always blessed us with his intellectual discussions, practical advice, and his unending initiative in turning concepts into reality. It truly is an honor to know someone like him. Amrita's mom has done an amazing job in raising Amrita into the absolute goddess that she is today, and she has always welcomed me as part of her family. She has been on so many adventures with us together, and I hope you can visit us again soon. To my own mom, I thank you for always being there to support us and for your unconditional love. I thank you for guiding me towards independence at such a young age, as it has made me confident in making sure that Amrita will live a life that matches her beautiful soul. Dad, as much as I'm proud of you, you continue to set the bar way too high with respect to being a husband and a father. Sorry. With everything you've taught me, however, I promise to surpass you. Both of you have accepted Amrita as your own daughter, and it warms my soul to see how happy she is around the two of you. Our parents have all been extremely supportive and accommodating to our relationship from the very beginning. Sorry. Amrita and I hope to wield and refine the methods they have utilized in order to hopefully be as successful as they all are. We have since had many adventures as a family and look forward to many more together. We'd also love to thank our siblings, Carrie and Kuvir, who put up with our rather visible affection, who never cease to brighten our daily lives with their uplifting personalities. As their older siblings, we continue to be proud of them as they both succeed in their endeavors and make us extremely, extremely happy. Thank you so much, Kuvir, for putting together those stunning e-invitations that you all may have received. Yes, the credit is his. He is absolutely amazing at video editing. And for giving your spectacular performance as our master of ceremonies. Thank you so much, Carrie, for giving Amrita and I the support that you do, and for your wonderful and heartfelt speech today. I still can't contain myself from it. You've always been there for me to indulge in basic behavior, going to Starbucks and Chick-fil-A, and lots of amazing shopping trips, and I look forward to so many of that in the future again. We would also like to thank our grandparents, who have imparted on us so many insightful stories and knowledge to us. Especially to Amrita's grandma, who has enthusiastically cheered us on from the beginning. I remember meeting her for the first time and seeing the striking resemblance to Amrita in both the looks and the very romantic personality. Grandma has never hesitated to provide beautiful songs to us when we were missing one another, and giving us words of encouragement to persevere through any situation. Thank you to Amrita's grandfather for providing wise words of advice and sharing your heartwarming memories of Amrita as she grew up. To my own grandparents, Nani and Nana, I'm grateful for you always supporting me and everyone in our family. You all have raised a very successful family, and I'm honored to be part of it and live up to those expectations. Thank you as well for welcoming Amrita into our clan and treating her as one of our own. I would also like to thank all our friends, cousins, aunts, and the uncles, extended family, for offering significant levels of support. Getting to know the families and friends of one another has been quite thrilling and quite the honor overall, as both families have so many accomplishments, so many interesting people, so much variety in thought and style and personalities, and it's absolutely amazing. Finally, I would like to extend a special thanks to all of our talented individuals in our team of vendors who have come together on short notice to make our dream a reality, not to mention the middle of a world pandemic. It's absolutely heartwarming to see the team effort of our family manifest itself into this beautiful event today. Putting our heads together and working on something together, no matter how many ideas come flowing into our heads at once. It really is nice to see it all pay off. It's hard to stand here without reflecting upon how beautiful life can be. For years, Amrita's name has been floated to me by our friend Shastine, as she mentioned before. It wasn't until that fateful day, 13th of March, 2018, that we have finally made contact. After a hilarious and quirky exchange on a Facebook post about a pufferfish eating a centipede, as you guys heard about quite a bit tonight, we began corresponding with one another. Immediately, the resonance was beyond anything we could fathom. We had eerily similar personalities. We even were born similarly. As her grandma explained that Amrita was born pink, my mom and dad say the same thing when I was born as well. And we even have the same blood type, the same horoscope. We could go on and on and on with what Amrita and I have in common. It truly seemed like we have lived many lives together before this one. The content of our conversations are still so dynamic, going from astrophysics to dank memes, faster than you could blink. The first time we met in person was 4 months after we began talking. As I hugged her and felt my arms sink into her beautiful puffy hair, I felt like everything was okay for the first time in my life. I remember that first week at dates and adventures. I remember completely breaking down upon having to leave to go back home. I remember trying to rationalize why I felt such a powerful connection with someone I only just met. Being a man of reason all my life, to make that happen, it was confusing to me. Since then, it's been almost 3 years that we've loved one another. We've been thousands of miles apart, in multiple time zones, through an unforgiving pandemic. Amrita becomes more beautiful with every day that passes. Her mind, body, and spirit are nothing short of divine. Amrita is the strongest person I know, showing tenacity and strength even in the darkest moments of our lives. The idea of spending yet another life with her makes me so unfathomably happy that I can't contain myself, like you guys could probably notice right now. I love you so much, Amrita Devi, and I'll love you all the way beyond the edges of eternity. You will always be my soulmate, my best friend, my goddess, and now my wife. We would like to extend a toast to everyone who came out to this absolutely beautiful event. Let the party begin, and we'll first be having dinner with our great caterer, Passage to Asia, who has accommodated us here at this beautiful hall, and then the party will start.
Through the darkness and good times, I through, and the world thought I had it all, but I was waiting for you. Hush, now I see light in the sky. Oh, it's almost blinding me. I can't believe I've been touched by you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd have the privilege to invite you all to partake in our refreshments. The food is buffet style. There's also a bar area. Please remember that you are driving. No drinking and driving. That is against the law. So, without further ado, enjoy yourself.
Where it was dark, now there's light.
Also, for you photogenic people out there, the photo booth in the back is available. So if you would like to have your pictures taken professionally, please make your way there before your lipstick run.